Hello, this is Jason Matthews. I'm a retired law enforcement officer, and in retirement, I spend a lot of time in the country of Brazil. And the customs in Brazil are quite different than what we're used to as Americans in the United States. And so I'm doing a series here explaining a lot of those differences. If you missed the first video that I did about Brazil, go back and watch that on this channel. But this is a reoccurring series until I run out of ideas. But there's a lot of differences between Brazil and the United States. There's a lot of similarities, but there's also a lot of differences. Let's get started. The first thing is, generally speaking, at least in all the places that I've been and have stayed in, there are electric showers. Yes, electric showers. So what happens is the shower head is connected to electricity inside of the shower, and electricity runs from the electric box to the shower head, and that's how you get hot water, which is much different than in the United States. Hot water, generally speaking, in the United States is received from a hot water heater. That is extremely rare in Brazil. And in my experience, it's at least concerns me that it's very dangerous. And I've had personal experience with this. I have been shocked by touching the on and off switch, which turns the water on in the shower. And this happens on a fairly regular basis. Now, it's not a major shock, but it's something that happens consistently. And I could see if this was not wired properly, someone could get shocked pretty badly, and there could be serious consequences. So I don't feel safe really taking a shower in Brazil, but of course, as an American in Brazil, this is very strange, and I have no other choice. And while you're taking a shower, as you see in the picture, you can see the wires hanging out from the wall where they're connected. Now, there is a ground, of course. It's electrically connected properly, but it still is concerning, as you can see. And it's probably going to be concerning to you if you do visit Brazil. And so what's recommended is when you're taking a shower to use plastic sandals. So when I take a shower in Brazil, and most people do, from my experience, they use sandals in the shower to prevent shockage. But I can still feel minor shocks in the shower when taking a shower, even with sandals on. And so a lot of times it's kind of funny and it's kind of not, but I'll touch at the handle before I turn it on, and after I turn it off, or while I'm taking a shower, I'll touch at that handle very carefully several times, picking at it, poking at it to see if I'm going to get shocked before I put my whole hand on the shower handle. If you're Brazilian and you have a better way to explain this or why this is the case, feel free to comment down in the comment section. The second custom in Brazil, which I see very frequently and I've heard about frequently, which is not the case generally speaking in the United States, is family members will come and knock on your door at any random time. So if you have family members living close to your house, for example, you could out of nowhere receive a knock on your door for them to come visit. In my experience in the United States, this is not common at all. Usually people will call ahead and say, hey, can I come to your house? Or you want to get together or something like that, or you want to come over to my house? So this is very different. You have to be cognizant if you're doing other things in your house. Basically, you have to entertain those family members because it would be considered rude if you were to say, hey, I'm busy, I got stuff to do. So basically you have to drop everything you're doing and allow those family members to come in, and they stay for, could be very long period of time, hanging out, just sitting around talking for, could be hours. But this is something that has to be considered, which is very strange for me as an American. And the last item that I have for this particular episode, although I will have many more episodes in the future, which I'll do, I don't know, every 6 weeks or so, because this is primarily a law enforcement channel. But I thought you, as the viewer, as the listener, might be curious about some of these customs, it's good to know how things are done in different countries of the world. And the final thing is, there's a lot of people smoking, at least from what I've seen in the cities especially, way more than you'll see in the major cities of the United States. So I feel like I've been transported back to the 1970s or maybe early 1980s or before, because there's a lot of people walking the streets smoking. And I don't like walking the streets behind people that are smoking. I don't like to smell that, but people seem not to care. It doesn't seem to bother most people, but it bothers me. And so I will stop and let that person go by because I don't want to inhale their smoke. And this is very hard to avoid if you're in the city walking the streets. It seems like at any random minute, you could be walking down the street and you're smelling smoke from someone walking down the street smelling smoke, or you're passing someone smoking on the street. I'm going to say you probably couldn't even walk for 2 minutes without smelling smoke. And this is very disconcerting, surprising, but it's also disconcerting for my health. I don't want to be inhaling smoke. And this is for all the major cities that I've visited in Brazil. It seems normal to most people. Whereas in the United States, probably people would get bad looks and they would feel ashamed if they were smoking like that in the United States at this point, at this day and age. They would probably feel outcast. And when I'm in the United States, it's extremely rare for me to see someone in the city walking down the street smoking. Now, it could be more in places like New York or Philadelphia or other places like that, but for the most part, and I've been to most places in the United States in major cities, and I have not seen that. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to be notified when new videos are released. Take care and have a great day.